Welcome to KUE News. I am Jasmine Polk.
I'm Jackson Kurtz.
And I'm TJ Blake.
And we have a very fun show today. And as you can see, we have on our KU gear. And we want to give a shout out to the KU men's team on winning 11 straight Big 12 titles. Did you guys see that game?
It was crazy.
Amazing.
It just took me through so many emotions. I was sad one moment, happy, angry. Perry was hurt, Wayne. It was just so much, but it was so big, 11 straight.
And the game was insane in itself as well. I mean, people were leaving about 2 minutes into it. They thought there's no way we're going to come back. It was just like in 2008 where Mario hit the late game three-pointer.
Yeah.
I mean, all those things happened in the last 2 seconds of the game.
Yeah.
I think Bill Self said that was the most electric he's heard out in the Fieldhouse, and that's like a huge statement to say because there's been some amazing games in there that have like lit the house on fire.
I feel like the crowd pulled us through that one. Like it just sparked us. And did you see that picture?
The shady one?
The shade.
Oh, so sick. The Kansas basketball Instagram posted a picture and said, "This is how we stormed the court." And it's kind of a reference to K-State and had our 11 different trophies.
11. We don't need to storm.
That's right.
That's how we storm. But stay tuned because we have KU sports reporter Scott Chasen in the building, and he's dishing on all the latest on KU basketball news and what we can expect at the Big 12 tournament next weekend. But first, you know how we do here. Let's kick it off with some rumors. So, Team Breezy, Chris Brown is a father, apparently. That's what's being reported to a 9-month-old daughter.
Didn't hear about this.
And
it's not Karusha's.
Really?
It's this model named Nia, and it just kind of came out the blue. And Karusha,
Model.
Right, urban model. Karusha was it was just a lot of tweets going back and forth. You know how like we can always tell what's going on with Chris and his girl because they're always showing us that.
Yeah, I feel like they probably should not be publicized that much. Like their relationship should be between them, but I feel like Karusha is all over the social media.
Right.
And she claims she's done with him like she does every time, but Karusha, you're going to be right where you are now.
We all know it's not over. No.
So do you guys think, well, we're going to play a little Mari game. Is he the father?
Ooh.
Do you think he's the father?
Well, does he think he's the father?
I think he's the father.
I'm hearing that he's saying that he is, and Karusha's tweet. So, I mean, I don't know if there's been a paternity test.
I'm going to say yes. I think he's probably the father.
And you never know. This might be good for Chris Brown because, like,
to calm him
down and like they'll like just settle down and
get away
family,
from Karusha because
you know?
it's a little too much. But as a Team Breezy representative, I'm saying he is not the father.
You're hoping
I'm
he's not the
hoping
father.
because we were supposed to have kids. And no, it's just so. Anyway, so on the other side of the spectrum, sports news. Sports Center anchor Robert Flores mentioned how Swaggy P, aka Nick Young, he plays for the Lakers.
My team.
He dates. I love Kobe though, but they're terrible. Nick Young dates Iggy Azalea, and they went on a vacation, and he claimed that a dolphin tried to kill him. So the anchor, Robert Flores, said, "Dolphins tried to kill you like your girlfriend is trying to kill hip-hop."
Oh.
Shade, ultimate shade to Iggy. Do you think Robert was out of line?
I think he crossed the line because when you start talking about not like the player itself and like spouses and family members, that's just not right, I don't think.
I feel like it's also just too much, even to be throwing that much shade at Iggy. Even if he called her out personally and didn't have anything to do with her spouse, that is some harsh shade.
Yeah, I feel like journalists are getting out of their lane a little bit because same with like Juliana and Zendaya, when you're trying to make a joke, but you take it a little too far. And do you think Iggy's really killing hip hop?
No, people listen. The first rap song ever.
School us.
Rapture, Blondie, Deborah Harry. Look it up.
You know, I don't think she's killing hip hop. I just think we don't want to call it hip hop. I don't call her hip
we want
hop.
to call it pop.
She's pop.
Yeah. With a little twist.
With a little twist.
It's kind of like Avril Lavigne. Remember Avril Lavigne? She was
like
pop punk.
It was just like,
but it was like, what is this?
Yeah. But yeah, I think y'all need to leave Iggy alone because she's just doing her thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Then in other news, yesterday afternoon, legendary actor Harrison Ford was injured in a plane accident. He was flying his vintage World War II plane when the engine had trouble. He had no choice but to make an emergency landing. According to witnesses, there was blood all over his face and he looked very banged up. Although his son did take to Twitter saying, "At the hospital, that is okay, battered but okay. He is every bit the man you think he is. He is an incredibly strong man. And Ford is expected to play in the highly anticipated Star Wars Episode 7. All the fanboys are going crazy about. I'm one of them. So that's crazy. Like, he's 60, 70, 60 years old. He's an older guy. Like,
Yeah, it's a blessing that he's still alive.
Yeah,
Because
no kidding. That's terrifying.
And I just always wonder, why do these people take vintage planes, little bitty planes, up in the air?
I wouldn't
Jasmine
get no
asking the
plane.
real question.
Like, that's the answer that, like, we need the answers,
Yeah.
guys. Like, World War II plane, and you're just going to fly it around for leisure?
No, I would not. You would not see me in a World War II vintage plane.
I don't do those little planes, only the ones, you know, the big ones, because I just don't feel safe. Like, anyway.
Well, in totally separate news, have you been paying very much attention to the music pop culture world in the last couple days? There's been one woman who's been taking control of it all. Rihanna
Yes,
Riri.
has
Bree.
been slaying this week. She's got her movie coming out, Home. Have you seen commercials for that?
I've seen a couple of trailers, but I didn't know what to get of it because it's like animated and I'm kind of.
Yeah, what is it about?
Well, she's got aliens that come to the Earth, and she plays the main character named Trip. But the more important part is that she's releasing a soundtrack in this next month, coming out on March 26th.
Wow.
She released the first song, and that's called Towards the Sun. And so that's coming out. So she got that whole album. And then, of course, she's got the most anticipated album of the entire year.
Bree, where is it at?
Where is R8?
R8.
So we are so ready for it. But this week on Instagram, she released 2 different songs. She had the first song, which was called Higher, and she released 2 snippets of that song. And then she also released another 30-second clip of her next song called American Air. And that song is going to be the March Madness theme song.
Wow.
That's a huge
Yeah.
honor.
That's big,
So
huge.
for every basketball game on all the major networks, they're going to play that song.
Wow.
For half times, they're going to play that song. Her face is going to be all over March
Wow,
Madness.
it's
Hopefully
huge.
it's before our games. Hopefully we last a little longer than last year. No
Well,
shade.
you
No
know,
shade.
actually, 3 players are in the commercial from KU. They have Kevin
Oh.
Young slam dunking. They have Mario Chalmers shooting the 3. So
Yes.
KU's gained some
Rock
airtime
chalk,
too.
Rihanna.
Yeah. So
That's awesome. And then in other news, many celebrities have debuted many new haircuts or hairstyles. And the 2 offenders are Kim Kardashian and Jared Leto. Now, I love Kim, yeah, you know I do, but Kim, I don't know, what do you guys think about this?
I didn't think it was that bad. I do not like the wet dog look. You know how like she has it flattened and wet. It doesn't look good that way. But I mean, it's Kim. She's gonna look beautiful with no hair. Like she's Kim.
Right. No.
What do you think? Is that a slay or?
see, okay. The fact that you have to say she would look beautiful at anything means that is ugly hair. Like, there is no other way to say that. The hair does not look good, and she's beautiful with dark hair.
Right.
Yeah.
Why would you ever change that? That's just a bad decision.
It's just she's an icon. She does things for shock value. She likes to make us go, oh my God, what is she doing now? Like, you know. So I feel like she does things. She was like, I'm gonna trip the world out, and I'm gonna put like blonde hair, and that's what
She
she
feeds off
did.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just feel like it's a slay for the reaction. Like you got what you wanted, but I need you to go back to the long black
I
Kim.
wonder what Kanye thinks of it too. It's interesting.
Anything she does, he loves. He's like,
That's true.
yeah. He loves some Kim.
Jared Leto's hair, I think it's for a acting role. He's playing the Joker in a new Suicide Squad. It's like all these superhero villains, but he's playing the Joker. So I think that'll be cool to see him take
Yeah.
on that role. And
Well, you know, I think that the real role model of this all is actually Justin Bieber, who rocked this hairstyle before everyone else.
Bieber.
So-
just know.
He did come out with the blonde, and he's claiming that it's because his hair won't grow back, or
I
don't
just
know
think he's
what's
a
going on.
trendsetter.
I mean, he is. He's JB. So, I mean, what if I come to the show with blonde hair? Would you guys still like me?
I would tell you you were beautiful.
Yeah,
course you
I
would.
would too.
Oh, the shade. So also, we have a no slay. Well, Rihanna, she's been slaying musically, but romantically, I don't know how I feel about it. She's dating Leonardo DiCaprio. That's
heard
what we've
that
been
too.
hearing. Like we've seen them. I think we have a picture of them. They were spotted at an event,
I like it.
and
I actually, so this picture is actually from Rihanna's birthday party. And
Oh.
Leonardo DiCaprio was the one who threw the party.
That's tea, y'all. Wow.
So,
That is something.
So it's official, like they're claiming that they're just friends, but friends don't
throw
do
birthday parties.
I mean, they do, but
They do, but they don't.
not when you look
know.
like Rihanna. Like, how can
Yeah.
you just be
And
friends
Leo,
with Rihanna?
like, in that matter.
But I just feel like it's not a slay couple because what do they talk about? Like, what do they have in common other than being awesome?
No Oscars. Oh. No jab.
Shade.
Wolf of Wall Street's a great movie. I love it.
But yeah, I don't know how I feel about that.
And that is our entertainment recap for the week. Coming up next, we're giving our first ever KUEnews Lifetime Achievement Award. So don't move.
Where you go to college makes a statement about you. This place will become a part of you, your identity for life. The University of Kansas, a great place to be you.
We've moved from February to March, or from Black History Month to Women's History Month. Another great time to celebrate the achievements of an underappreciated part of our world.
For this segment on today's show, we're going to be honoring only a very small percentage of the women in the entertainment who are innovative, dynamic, unique, and trailblazing girls on fire.
One of these amazing ladies will receive KUEnews' first ever Lifetime Achievement Award. We are so excited to celebrate strong and successful women in the spotlight for Women's History Month. So, Sky, who is your nominee for the Lifetime Achievement Award?
My nominee is Oprah, the original
that's a
one
good
woman,
one.
one name personality.
Oprah!
Like, where do I even begin? She's the queen of all media. She's been able to reach out to so many people through
Yes.
TV, through movies, through books, you name it, she's done it. She's a media mogul, she's an actress, she's a philanthropist. She like does stuff like gives money to like build schools in like Africa for girls.
I
Like,
remember that. It was amazing.
yeah, she's an author. She's been known or has allegedly been called like the most influential woman in the entire world.
Wow.
Like, that's pretty
Go
big.
Oprah.
Can you name like other women that could even come close to that? Like,
It's hard.
yeah,
It's hard.
she's a billionaire. $3 billion is her net worth.
That's mine too, actually.
Really? Okay. She's the ultimate started from the bottom story.
She
Like,
really is.
yeah, she grew up in poverty. She lived with sometimes with her mom, sometimes with her grandma, sometimes with her dad. Just like moved all around
What a rough
for most of
life.
her life. She was sexually abused, but then in high school things began to like turn around for her, and she is where she is today. Her name is her trademark. Like everyone,
Oprah.
you
Everyone
hear
knows Oprah.
you know Oprah. Her talk show, which was on for 15 years, was the highest rated talk show in American TV history.
Love Oprah.
Can't get much bigger than that. And to sort of like close my argument, she's really all about like bettering others and like other people. So she's always like trying to spread this message of positivity and like, hey, you can get through whatever it is you're going through. She has her own television network, and she was the recipient of the Presidential Medal of Freedom Award by President Obama.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Yeah, sorry we
Rock
started
on,
off with the
Oprah.
strongest argument, but
We'll see if
whatever.
we can top that.
So, Jackson, which woman is on fire to you?
My woman is an icon in the fashion industry, and she has transcended it. My woman is Anna Wintour. She first started at Harper's Bazaar, and she's now the current editor-in-chief at Vogue. She's had that title for 27 years.
Really?
She has just opened doors for people to do things differently and like in fashion, and then she's always taking on new tasks and always believing in the underdog. Like the movie The Devil Wears Prada, you're familiar with that?
Yeah.
That is kind of based off like her persona and like her like how the way she runs like the magazine.
Yeah, I think
and
I've heard about that before.
Yeah,
how
and-
it's based on her.
she's always befriending and standing behind aspiring fashion designers and famous celebrities as well. For example, I know people bash on him, but he's my boy, Kanye West. He's had like fashion, all like a fashion line through Adidas, and she's
That
backed
just
him.
came out.
Yeah, it did. She backs him up on it, and it's like a clear message saying that just because that Kanye has like a certain title, it doesn't mean that he can't be creative and do what he wants to do and create creativity. It makes sense. In the upcoming book she gives reasons why everyone should be fired once in their life. And she says everyone should be fired at least once in their career because perfection doesn't exist. People work better when they have responsibility. Even if you aren't sure of yourself, pretend that you are, because it makes it clear to everyone else that you are clear to everyone else. Sorry. So I mean, that's pretty inspiring to many people around the world and in America.
I'd have to agree with that.
Kennedy, who do you have on lock for your honor?
All right, well, I have the one and only Beyonce. She's won like 20 Grammy Awards. She's one of the most awarded females alive right now. She's just a great role model, honestly, for women of all ages, and so many of her songs are about empowering women and like just like being confident in yourself, and I think that's a good message that a lot of girls need these days, honestly, and so, I don't know.
And she shows that you can have it all.
Yeah.
If you want it.
Yeah, she's Beyonce, and like she's never in the spotlight for like negative things, so like young girls can look up to her without having any negative repercussions or anything like that.
Right.
So that's what I think. That's what I think Beyonce is. But
Queen Bee.
It's gonna be tough.
yeah, it will be. Well, we have our very own Kaylin Unger out in the lobby of Kansas Union with some students who also would like to have a say in today's discussion. Caitlin?
So, both of our guests said Beyonce. I'm not really sure how to feel about that.
Yeah, I'm not either. I mean, I know she was my candidate, but I mean, I think.
Are you throwing in the towel and giving it to Team Oprah?
I think I might be giving it to Team
I gotta
Oprah.
give it to Team Oprah. I mean, Beyonce's babe, but Oprah's done so much more.
Yeah, Oprah's.
I feel like there wouldn't
incredible.
really be a Beyonce
Right,
without
exactly.
Oprah, because
yeah.
Oprah was like the first like very successful black woman to like make it like anywhere.
That's right.
So with that, I believe the first winner of the first ever KUE News Lifetime Achievement Award goes to Oprah Winfrey.
Wow, amazing. We did not have an actual trophy for Oprah, but best believe we're working on it one day, maybe. It's in our budget, so we'll get it.
All right, well, that will wrap it up for our special segment today. Take some time out of this month to honor and appreciate all of the girls on fire in your life. We will be back with more KUE News.
Studious, courteous, community service oriented. These are just a few ways to describe Sigma Pi fraternity. But don't take my word for it. Let's ask the president himself. Oh, excuse me. I didn't hear you come in. I'm Ryan Brinker, founding father and president of Beta Delta chapter of Sigma Pi here at the University of Kansas. We're one of the fastest growing Greek communities here on campus, and now we want you to be a part of us too. For more information, go to kusigmapi.com.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to KUE News. I'm host Ellen Linewetter.
And I'm Laura Kubicki.
And there's a baby buzz going around Hollywood, and we can't wait to tell you who's expecting and who's revealing their bundles of joy. Our first Hollywood couple that welcomed a baby is Carrie Underwood and husband Mike Fisher. Now, Carrie revealed via Twitter on Tuesday that she and husband Mike Fisher welcomed their son, Isaiah Michael Fisher, into the world this past week. And her tweet said, "Tiny hands and tiny feet, God has blessed us with an amazing gift." How sweet is that?
Very sweet. You know, I really like the name they picked for their son as well.
I do.
You know, I wasn't expecting it. I was expecting something more, I don't know, like a country name or something like that. But yeah, I think it's, you know, unique and surprised me for sure. And I'm sure their, you know, baby's going to be beautiful.
Oh, absolutely. I can't wait to see a picture whenever if they release a picture.
Hopefully soon. But the next surprise of the week goes to Jessie James Decker when she announced on Instagram Monday that her and husband Eric Decker are expecting a second child. The New York Jets wide receiver and his country singer wife have already a baby girl, Vivienne, who was born a year ago. And I don't know about you, Ellen, but I'm really excited for them.
I am. I guess it's been revealed that they do know the sex of the baby, but they're not revealing that until later on.
Yeah, I really hope it's a boy.
Me too.
Honestly, I'd love to see Eric have a little boy and teach him football.
I honestly think it's going to be a girl, though. I don't know. I just have a feeling it's
I
going
don't
to be
know.
a girl.
I feel like I'm obsessed with that couple, their family.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I stalk them on Instagram sometimes.
No,
but,
I mean,
they're perfect. Yeah.
well, I'm sure we all wish we could have him as a husband.
Goals right
so.
there. Yeah.
All right, so now let's talk about something that might surprise you if you haven't already heard. Chris Brown is apparently a dad. Have you seen this in the news recently, Laura?
I have, and I clicked on it. I was like, this has to be some kind of
Well,
spam or something.
that's the face he's making right now, I bet.
Oh,
But,
probably. He's probably shocked. I thought it was some spam, some rumor, some TMZ rumor, but I don't know. I read several news sources, and it seems that this is the fact
it
of the matter.
seems to be true. He has yet to confirm the news, but apparently it was with a model named Naya. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Her name's Naya, yeah.
So I don't really know how to feel about this.
You know what was weird? I actually saw this one article that showed a picture of him, his current girlfriend, Karuchi.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce it.
And his baby mama, Naya. They were all in three seen at a party together, which was kind of weird.
Yeah.
How ironic was that?
Well,
right?
I saw on Twitter that his former, now ex-girlfriend is very, mad about the
yeah, did
situation.
you see her tweet?
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
like, "I'm over this baby drama."
Yeah, she's like, "Bye, Chris."
Yeah.
That's just one way to get it over with, I guess.
Exactly. And there's also rumors going around that her name is Royalty.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, celebrities are pretty much known for picking some unique names for their children.
I figured that's what Kim Kardashian would have picked for her daughter.
Yeah, but of course it was Northwest instead. Well, I don't know about you, Ellen, but it seems like 2015 is another baby boom era. All this baby talk, but that's all we have for you today. But all of you KU fans don't want to miss what's up next. Stay with us.
Welcome back to KUE News. I'm Jasmine, here with our guest, KU sports reporter Scott Chasen. Thank you for being here today.
Absolutely.
But before we get into KU basketball, we sent out our KUE News reporters, Bentley Leonard and Sam Ola, to talk to students about their thoughts on this year's team. Bentley?
Hi, I'm Bentley Leonard reporting for E-News. After a big win against West Virginia, KU is now 11 straight conference champs in a row. We went around KU asking women how they feel about KU basketball team. Lick the sweat off of any basketball player's arm, who would it be?
Kelly Oubre.
Yeah, Kelly. It's kind of weird you guys actually had an answer for that one. If you could go on a date with any basketball player, who would it be?
Kelly Oubre.
How come?
Because he's hot.
Ooh. What is the favorite basketball game you've ever been to?
The one yesterday.
I was there. Woo! Party!
Yeah.
Except for the first half wasn't too good.
No, that was pretty sad.
Did you just want to go out there and kind of stab some of them in their eye? I know I did.
Yeah, stab him right in the eye.
Yep, but hey, we won, so no stabbing in the eye. Woohoo! What do you know about KU basketball?
That they won last night.
Anything else?
Nope.
Favorite player? Do you go to KU? Who is your favorite basketball player?
Probably Jamari Traylor or Perry Ellis.
Okay, if you had to choose one, which one would it be?
Probably Perry Ellis.
Why? Why not Jamari? Is something wrong with Jamari?
Perry Ellis is just really consistent, and I don't know, I think he's a good player and he's a team player. He'll sometimes be the best scorer, sometimes he'll be a really good passer, so he's just all around a good player.
Wow, you know your stuff. Some other girls don't quite really know what they're talking about. Hey, good for you. Okay, if you could kiss a basketball player, transfer a basketball player, or date a basketball player, who would it be?
Okay, well, it's hard. Okay, I would kiss Wayne Selden. I would
God. I would date Kelly Oubre. And I guess I would transfer. That's really hard. Who would I transfer? I like them all.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, I was going to say.
You gotta choose one.
I got to choose one. All right. Transfer. Yeah. No, I can't transfer Tyler Self. It's because of Bill Self. I'll transfer. He doesn't really mean much.
Well, there you have it. Who is your favorite basketball player?
I would have to say Jamari Traylor.
Okay, so what's your favorite thing about him?
The way he can dunk is really nice. And he really pulled through during overtime last night.
Oh, yes, he did. You know, alley-oop. If you could caress the face of any basketball player, who would it be? I don't. You know, like a sweet, just. That was a great 3. Probably Cliff. Oh,
Definitely.
Yeah. He does kind of have that face you just want to like. On behalf of all of the women here on our lovely campus, we are rooting for those boys of KU basketball, and we love ya.
Thank you, Bentley, Sam, and students for that laugh. So now let's get down to business. You have a sports show here at Media Crossroads. Can you talk a little about that?
Yeah, the show, it's a Triple OT podcast. I work with Evan Riggs, who also writes for the Cans in here, and you know, we talk about all things NBA. So we do try and keep it, because we understand at KU, you know, there's a big interest in college basketball. So we focus on prospects, we focus a lot on that. But, you know, mainly it's really the only show here that's exclusively on that, because it's something we both have an interest in.
Yeah, so when is the show? What time?
The show comes out, it is a podcast, so it comes up on Tuesdays, usually around 2, 3, somewhere in there, and it can be found at triple-ot.podomatic.com.
Okay, yeah, we will check that out. So let's get into KU basketball. Are there any updates on Perry Ellis's injury?
Well, right now, everyone I've talked to and all the things I've heard are that he's definitely going to be held out of the game against Oklahoma, but he probably will be there for the Big 12 tournament.
Yeah.
And I think they're holding him out of Oklahoma more, maybe not precautionary, because, you know, he does have an injury, but I don't think he'd be playing even if he was good to go. And I think you're going to see a similar thing with Frank Mason. I think they're going to try and limit his minutes. You know, the guy's averaging, I think, 33.6 minutes per game this year, which is only one other player since 2009 has done that at the University of Kansas. Wow. So, you know, the guy's obviously a workhorse. He's been doing a lot there. So I think you'll see those two rest a bit.
So do we know what happened to Perry's knee?
Yeah, it looked like he kind of got rolled up on by Landon Lucas in the last game. But again, I don't think it's anything too serious. And, you know, I think if the tournament was coming up like Sunday or Monday, the NCAA tournament, I think he'd play.
Okay. Cool. So what is going on with Cliff's eligibility? What is happening?
Well, that's an interesting issue because, you know, at first there was a lot of uncertainty. No one really was saying anything. The university was very quiet. But now it appears, and this is according to a Yahoo Sports report, that someone in Cliff's family, so not Cliff, but someone in the family, may have received impermissible benefits from an agent. So, you know, that can range to anything. It can mean a lot of different things. There's a chance Cliff knows nothing about it. So everyone on the team is optimistic he'll actually be able to play again this year, and I think that's the goal, to get him back for the NCAA tournament. I think Bill Self just came out and said that they think they can get it going because during football season that's the priority. During basketball season they have the priority as far as the NCAA is concerned.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Hopefully we can get him back because we're gonna need him. So the Big 12 tournament starts next week. Do we know like what our matchups are looking like yet?
Well, there are a couple of spots that are uncertain, but right now I think the most likely outcome is for Kansas to probably face Kansas State in its first game.
Really? Again?
Yeah, they're, you know, depending on the matchup, because, you know, the bottom teams all play each other.
Yeah.
But I think Kansas State would probably be the matchup there, and I think that's a good one for the Jayhawks because, you know, obviously Kansas State got the win at home, but that's a hard place to play in, and I think if you asked anyone, including people around Kansas State, they would say that obviously the better team is the team that finished in first rather than the team that finished in the bottom
11
four.
rings, actually.
Definitely. So, you know, I don't think it'll be a problem for them. I'm really just looking forward to seeing that potential final matchup. There are still a lot of teams that could get that too, and I think especially it'd be really fun if it was Iowa State at the end.
Yeah, that'd be very exciting. So, when does March Madness start? Do you know?
I don't have the exact day. It's after the Big 12 tournament. You have Selection Sunday following that, which, you know, that's going to be something that's awesome this year because there are a lot of teams going for the 1 and the 2 seed that, you know, normally you have your clear-cut 3 ones, and then there's that 4th one that you don't know. Well, this year there's about 5 or 6 teams that could all end up with a 1 seed.
Okay.
And I think the Jayhawks now are pretty much locked into it too. But, you know, they could surprise some people maybe if they win the Big 12 tournament and turn some heads.
Do you know
there.
whose side of the bracket we might be on?
Right now, what it looks like, according to Joe Lenardi, we'd be opposite Kentucky. So we'd be on the right side of the bracket. But, you know, it really just depends because it's all on that S curve. So, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then back the other way.
Okay, so I used to play girls basketball, so I cannot leave out the women's team.
Absolutely.
Do you know when their Big 12 starts and like who their matchup is?
I think it gets started right away. I think it's this weekend if I'm not mistaken. They play Kansas State as well in the first round. That last game in Allen Fieldhouse, it was one of the most attended game. I think it was the second most attended game of the year. It was a great matchup, and you know they have a little momentum, winning 2 games in a row now. So I think they expect to win that game, and if they can rattle off a couple victories in the tournament, they might find their way in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, hopefully they can do that because I've been hearing that this is Bonnie's last year.
Nothing is for sure. There are certainly rumors of that. I've heard some of that same stuff. You know, I think she's done a good job with this team. I think there have been a lot of results that have been really close. They played Baylor very close twice, and Baylor had a 25-game winning streak this year. So there were just kind of a lot of results that changed in the end. But, you know, that's kind of the way it is. It's results-oriented. If a shot goes in, it's a great shot. If it misses, it's a bad shot.
Yeah. So before you go, we're going to play a little game called How Well Do You Know KU?
Absolutely.
So the first question is, who is Joel Embiid's celebrity crush? This one's hard.
Yeah, well, not really. I think he made it his Twitter picture for a bit, but that would have to be Rihanna.
Yes. And he's always like putting her in his jersey and like getting pretty real, apparently. So question number 2, who hosts Bible studies in Lawrence?
I would have to guess Christian Garrett on that, just based off Twitter again. So.
Yeah. So which player was recently named on Big 12 All-Academic Team?
The All-Academic Team. That is a good question. Man.
Did we stump you?
I think so. If I had to throw out a
guess. Just guess. Who looks like they're about their books?
I know Perry Ellis was a valedictorian, so I will
That's the
say
one.
him.
Yep.
All right.
So question number 4, who was the last team to win the Big 12 title before our 11 straight?
The last team before. So that would have been the 04-05 season, if I'm not mistaken. Again, I'm guessing on this one, but I'll throw out, it's one of the Oklahoma schools, I think.
Okay.
So I don't remember which one, though.
Well, actually, I don't know. So maybe I should know that before I ask the question, right?
Yeah.
But we're just going to skip over that part. Anyway,
All right.
Who did Bill Self say is the MVP of the season?
Oh, it's definitely Frank Mason, and I think that's an accurate description. Coaches have come in, you know, Fred Hoiberg called him unbelievable. The head coach of UNLV, Mike Rice, said that he's actually on their scouting report twice. He was the first player and the last player. That's how good he's been this year.
Do you think he could potentially be Big 12 Player of the Year? Are we talking about that?
I don't know, just because, you know, it's hard for a guy like that. His numbers aren't great because he gets tired because he's playing, you know, 33 minutes a night, as we talked about. But he's definitely a guy who's been more valuable to his team, in my opinion, than any player in the Big 12.
Yeah. So what high school player has already committed to KU?
Carlton Bragg, and he almost accidentally committed to Kentucky.
I wish we had that Vine because that was hilarious.
That was pretty funny.
I'm so excited to have him. Okay, last question. Which former KU player is an aspiring actor?
Wow, I have no idea on this one.
He had a movie here in Lawrence.
Well, I know last year was Justin Wesley in the movie.
That's the one. And he was actually really good. Did you get to see it?
Yes, I did.
It was so good. I wish it would get on Netflix or something so I could see it again.
Definitely a great movie.
He's so good. Well, again, we want to thank Scott for coming out and talking to us. And actually, the women play K-State tonight at 6. So we're looking forward to that. And remember, the last regular season game for men is tomorrow against Oklahoma at Oklahoma on ESPN at 3 p.m. And if you need any plans for the weekend, stay tuned. TJ and Rosie are going to dish on all the events coming up in Lawrence.
Welcome back to KUE News, bringing you the best entertainment news in Lawrence. I'm TJ.
And I'm Rosie.
And we're looking forward to the weekend. So a couple of big things that are happening in the near future here. Tomorrow night, we're going to look at a couple of different things. Tonight, at 8 p.m., there's actually going to be DJ Cap Slap at the Granada. I don't know if you ever heard of him before. No.
Can't say I have.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting style of music. So it's kind of a combination of pop music and electronic music. So all of your top 40 and hip hop songs are going to be played, but also kind of like an electronic form.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, kind of like a club atmosphere. And it will be tonight at 8 o'clock, and it's $5 to get in. And it's kind of going to be very similar to the atmosphere of like Ash Jams or more of their like come and dance type of atmosphere.
Okay, what's the Granada like for that sort of event?
It's kind of cool. They have it set up. There's like a bar in the back, and then they have like a dance area everywhere else, and on stage is where the DJ is, and they'll have lots of lights that go across everywhere. So
okay,
I think it'll be kind of cool to go
does
to.
sound fun.
Another thing that's happening, this is a little ways off, but on March 26th, we have a special announcement that's coming straight for you from KUE News. You heard it here first, but you, as a KU student, get to go see the Griswolds are coming to KU for free, which they're a great band, but they're performing for Walk the Moon on March 26th, and so we get an inside peek, stripped-down acoustic version of their concert here in the Kansas Union.
For just KU students?
Only KU students. You have to bring your KU ID, and then you get in for free. And it's literally like you get to see them up close and personal. So.
Nice. SUA pulled some strings there.
Yeah, it should be pretty cool. So.
So another KU event we've got going on is the annual Rock Chalk Review Show, which actually debuted last night, opening night. And I've heard incredible things. I don't know about you.
Yeah, absolutely. I've heard everything from dancing crayons to cookies and buildings coming to life when the steam whistle blows at night. So I think it's going to be really cool.
Sounds crazy. So that's going to run tomorrow night as well, which is when the winners are going to be announced. So doors tonight and tomorrow are both at 7 p.m. and tickets will cost $25.
Yep.
Now over at Replay Lounge tonight, it's another kind of benefit event. This is for Girls Rock Lawrence 2015 Summer Camp, and that starts at 9 p.m. Now if you're of age, of course, there is a beer festival style event tonight at Abe and Jake's Landing, and that's called That Damn Beer Event, and that starts at 7 p.m.
Yeah. Have you ever been to Abe and Jake's?
I have. I went for like a mixer party. It's huge.
Yes, it's beautiful though,
it's
isn't
massive,
it?
yeah.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine it being like a bar because it's just so big.
Yeah, it's just huge. But it is one of those events that if you went there, I think it would be really fun.
Just functions like this, perfect, really.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you're looking for something a bit more chilled this weekend, the Leeds Centre is hosting 22-year-old violin prodigy Paul Huang. And that's going to be on Sunday, and you can check out their website for more info on that.
Well, that sounds like a whole bunch of fun. So that's going to do it for our show today. But follow us on Twitter at KUE News, and tune in next week for our spring break preview. Have a great weekend, and enjoy this weather.